Diamond traveling, what's that? I got the idea on my last vacation. I was traveling to Macedonia from China. It was my third trip from China, somewhere else, America, Turkey, other places that were pretty far away. I began routing my own flights, and this was so each flight would just have a couple of stops. I used the international hubs. Doing this approach, it would take 36 to 42 hours. And the reason why I did it is because sometimes the international transfers are just a little bit too short. And then other times you will have long layovers, but I accepted these because when you arrive in an international hub, you have to go through customs. And if you're going to go further into the country, then you're going to need a good 2 to 3 hour layover to be able to make the flight. The airlines don't really think about this. And that's why I started routing my own flights, even though there's that drawback of long trips. Also, you don't have the same rights because you're using different airlines, not just one airline. Getting a hotel when there's a cancellation can be something you may not get. Now, my last trip was to Macedonia. On my way to Macedonia, I had 2 flights. Each flight had 2 stops, including the final destination. On my way back, I couldn't find the perfect flight. The layovers were not long enough to have a stress-free experience. And then all the longer layovers were 10 to 17 hours. So I decided, why not just stay in Kazakhstan? Stay there for 3 days, and then I could take the flight anytime I wanted. So I stayed in Kazakhstan for 3 days, and then my flight to China was a one-way flight. Flew out in the evening, gave me time to even spend an extra day visiting sites and trying the food there. And this gave me the idea of diamond traveling. It's not about shopping, looking at or buying diamonds, but it's about a trip with 4 points. You have your original destination that you're going to come back to. You have the main vacation destination, and then you have 2 side vacation destinations. What are the benefits of diamond traveling? For one, you have shorter trips, and it's about the same cost as a round-trip flight. My last trip, I saved around $200, but it's not always going to be like that. You could spend $200 more, or you could spend the same, but that doesn't really matter. You get to see more countries in the world, and you suffer from less jet lag because your trips are shorter. What about the drawbacks? It is more time-consuming, and you're going to need at least 2 weeks, I think, to be able to do a diamond traveling trip. Now I've got a couple of examples here of some diamond traveling trips. My last trip was almost a diamond, just missing 1 point, so it's more like a pyramid or triangle. How could I have turned it into a diamond? So my trip began in China. I flew straight to Macedonia, and then I flew back to Kazakhstan, and then from Kazakhstan to China. How could I have turned it into a diamond on the way to Macedonia? Instead of going straight to Macedonia, I could have stopped somewhere else. India, Turkey, Thailand, really anywhere between China and Macedonia. Now what about another example? This time, it will be hypothetical. We're going to go to Brazil. And if you book a flight to Brazil, you see a bunch of stops in Florida somewhere, usually Miami. And you'll see an even more variety of stops in Central America, the Caribbean, and South America. So you can just pick 2 of those locations to create your diamond. You're going to search again, but pick some of those countries on the way there and on the way back. So let's just say you're going to do exactly 2-week trip. You spend 7 days in Brazil. You spend 3 days inside country A, 3 days inside country B. That's 13 days plus the flying time. It should be right at a 2-week period. Let's say side country A is Colombia, side country B is Jamaica. Sounds like a pretty good trip. You're going to begin in America somewhere. You're going to fly to Colombia. Maybe you have 1 stop. Maybe it's direct. You stay there for 3 days. You go to Brazil. You stay there for 7 days. Then you head to Jamaica. You stay there for 3 days. Then you're back in America. Now, if you wanted, you could increase it to 3 weeks. 7 days in Brazil, 5 days in Jamaica, 5 days in Colombia. And of course, you could pick any other country in Central America or South America on the way there, and then on the way back go through the Caribbean, or you could switch it around. Just my advice about the Caribbean is there are a lot of delays because of the crazy weather. A lot of hurricanes coming through, especially later in the year. So you want to be careful of the weather and be ready for big time delays when you're flying through the Caribbean. But on our hypothetical trip, you get to visit 3 countries instead of just Brazil, which would be okay on its own. You get to visit Jamaica and Colombia as well. And you get the other benefits of diamond traveling. Less jet lag, shorter flights, and perhaps the same or less cost, maybe a little bit more, but it would be worth it to see Jamaica and Colombia, right? As you can see, there are some great benefits to doing diamond traveling. What do you think about it? Would you like to try diamond traveling? Go ahead and send me a message or post a comment.